I've been waiting for this moment since I first planned this trip. There's something about the mountains that always feels humbling. They remind you of how small you really are and how much there is still to see. Today I'm heading higher into the heart of the Lake District to photograph a different kind of landscape, one that demands a little bit more effort to reach. This is where the real adventure begins, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. For those unaware, I've left the car back in Seathwaite, which is the start of the corridor route up to England's tallest mountain, Scafell Pike. That has a climb. I think it's going to be a little bit too far outside of my experience, a bit like cat bells, don't want to take any unnecessary risks. However, there are other subjects up in the mountains that I really want to shoot, really want to capture, most notably 2 tarns, and that's where I'm ideally going to be heading. Already is certainly footing and terrain I am not used to walking, even when I take into account the couple of hikes that I did back home in Kent and East Sussex. It's all building for this type of terrain. Lovely waterfall up to the right. First subject I'm aiming to catch though, Stockley Bridge. It's a beautiful shot with Seathwaite Fell in the background. Feels like you're entering the realm of giants at this particular stage. Yeah, this is nothing like what I've walked before. It's certainly a hard but fun climb so far. Just having to take a bit of a breather, but it's also turning out to be a bit of a warm day despite all the clouds. And even as we climb higher and higher, I think I'll be taking this hoodie off in a minute. Oh, the views though, they really are spectacular and worth every minute of this climb so far. The journey down, on the other hand, that might be a little bit harder, but if that's the case, that's the case. Absolutely loving it here, really am. I always knew this was going to be the highlight of my trip. This really is a test of my fitness, a sign of how prepared you need to be when you come up to the Lake District, because it's nothing like what I've experienced before. Not just the photography, but the terrain as well. Oh, very slippery, very wet around here, but the majority of the climb has been done now, so I can focus on the second subject that I want to capture. I don't think I've ever been quite in the company of something so majestic than here at Stockley Tarn, the first of 2 tarns I'd like to walk to. I've got mountains being lit up by sunlight as the cloud slowly drifts away. A minute ago I just had this reflection on the tarn, lit up beautifully as it was so still. Got some ripples on the water now. But yeah, I was here for when it just got that stillness, that lovely still reflection. It was like glass almost. Really worth the hike, and we're not done yet. This hike has been a mixture of enjoyment and of suffering, climbing hills, climbing mountains that I've never even previously attempted. But for the views that I'm enjoying, it's been so worth it, it really has. Sometimes if you want to be rewarded, you've got to work for it, and work for it I have. Ahead of coming to the Lake District, this here is one scene that I wanted, probably amongst all others. There's probably one other shot I'm going to be going out tomorrow and trying to grab that probably gets close to it. But this scene here, captured in Thomas Heaton's first ever YouTube video, was a scene I watched, a scene I saw, and it was the catalyst. It was the start for me to start looking into coming to the Lake District myself. This was one tarn that I wanted to come up to and capture something similar. Sprinkling tarn in the foreground, Great Gable in the background, just obscured at the top by a bit of cloud, but that cloud's shifting over. So I've just got to wait for it to clear just a little bit, just so I can see the top of the mountain. And then I've got this one shot that I've really been after. It's got some great views and it's turned out to be an absolutely lovely day. What a weekend to come up here. So I'm back at the car, having just done a little walk around Buttermere. Not sure why, seeing that my muscles are screaming at me, they're trying to cramp up after that walk to the two tarns, Sprinkling and Styhead. Ironically, that route was actually on my original itinerary. I decided against doing it because I thought I'd be a bit too inexperienced. However, when I got to Seathwaite, the man on the door taking car parking charges, he kind of laughed at my plan to just do Stockley Bridge. He said there was little point in you coming here if I'm going to do that. It could easily do Styhead Tarn, he said. Well, because of his comments, I decided to give it a go. And sometimes all that little bit of an extra push, that's all you need.